Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening. So my name is Arifin Saimi. I will tell a little bit about the introduction of the project. If for this project, so for our mirror project, this topic was inspired by our own lecturer, which is Dr. Tarmizi. They giving us an idea to do this topic. This mini project was as a program. The user can simply put any number to export an image to become a graph. So it is like a more like a graph generator. So we'll have three different types of graph that we can generate, which is the first one is the linear equation, which is the y equal to mx plus c, quadratic equation y equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, and the cubic equation y equal to ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. So we chose this idea from the TMZ because the complexity of this program that we think will help us in the future for any kinds of projects that will use any Java language. So the features of this program is user be able to save the graph as an image output, which is the PNG file. User can choose different functions in the menu, such as the enter, number 1 to plot linear graph, and number 2 to plot the quadratic graph, and number 3 for cubic equation. And user can still edit the equation after system show the image before save the graph as an image. So for the rest of the presentation, it will be given by Adli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Arifin Saimi. So today I will show some demonstration for the program. So if you run the graph parabolas.java, which contains the main method, so it will show you the main menu, which is we have two options: choose graph, which is option 1, and option 2 is exit the program. So we'll choose the first one. So the next menu will pop up, which is the graph option. It will show you three different kinds of graphs, and number 4 is for the option for go back to the main menu. Alright, so for example, we take the first one. So the program will show us the chosen graph, which is the y equal to mx plus c. So we enter, so for this kind of graph, we will enter the value for m and the value for c. So we'll enter the value for m and then the value for c. And then another window will pop up, which is the graph paper window. So it will show you the grid like the graph paper and the plotted graph that we wanted. Okay, so if we close the window, it will not terminate the program. Alright, so the program will ask the user, do you want to save in PNG file, which is a photo? So 1 for yes and 2 for no. So the location or the destination of the file, it depends on the user. So for example, this program, the graphing parabolas.java is in the Eclipse folder. So I will choose yes, and then the program will show the current location that I'm working on, which is the Eclipse workspace project. So for example, so let me go to the destination, which is here. We can see here the plotted graph that we wanted. So the same as the graph paper window that pop up after we insert the last value. So the user can locate it by the destination that the program show here. So after end of every one of the graph, it will go straight back to the main menu. So if you want to plot another graph, so for example, we choose to add another graph, choose another graph, and then we take the second one, and then the program will show us the chosen graph. So for this kind of graph, we must enter the value for a, b, and c. So we choose the 3 for a, and then b we just put any number 84, and then c we put 6, and then the window will pop up that will show the plotted graph. So the more complex the graph is, the less details of the graph that will be shown in the graph paper. Alright, so the program will also ask if you want to save it in the PNG file. So if you choose yes, it will do the same. The program will show us the working directory, which is the now that I'm working on. So the file, the PNG file, we will save in the Eclipse workspace. So I'll open the Eclipse workspace. You can see here the project graph number 2 is here, and then the plotted graph we can see as the same as the Java graph paper. window. Right. So every time we end with the graph, it will go to back to the menu. So for example, I'm choosing no for the save file. So for example, 3, 5 and -6. The plotted graph, the graph paper.java will appear, and then we close it. Then for example, I choose number 2, which I don't want to save that file. So the program will show redirect to main menu. So the main menu will show up, and then there are no new file located here. Alright, so if we choose to exit the program, so we'll choose 2, and then the program will show thank you for using this application, and it will show the terminated. So the program is terminated at this point. So that's all for the demonstration from me, and thank you.
Thank you, Arif, for presenting the part and show all the expected output after we run the program. So next, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Adil Hanis. So now I will presenting my part, which is from the UML class diagram until the conclusion. Alright, so for the next, the UML class diagram. So this UML class diagram we create based on our coding. So if we have 4 classes, then we create 4 class for the UML class diagram. We have using the draw.io software, so we can create the class diagram even better, not using our own handwriting. Okay, so next. So this is our UML class diagram. We have 4 main classes. As you can see, the JFrame class, Canvas class, Graph Paper Canvas, Graph Paper class. So before I go further, I would like to explain why JFrame and Canvas not having any attribute in the class. So based on our research, we noticed that JFrame doesn't need to have any attribute in it because we just extend from our class. As you can see, the graph paper has extend JFrame, so we just create a classes that the title is JFrame. So same with the canvas, because it just attribute like the JFrame, or I say the canvas is class. Alright, so for the next uh, we will compare this UML with the coding. So you can see at the left side is the coding that we put in our NetBeans IDE, and the right side is our UML class diagram. So we separate 2 parts, which is the left side and the right side. Alright, so as you can see, at the left side is our coding. So you can see in this graph paper we have 7 private that need to be create or be right in this attribute. So you can see we have a debug, canvas, VM, X, Y, WH. So all these private have been right in this attribute in the graph paper class. And the public, we have only 5 public that will write in this class. So we have graph paper, draw bounds, set color, draw point, and print. So all the attribute have been right or have been code, and we have write all in this in the UML. So next, we'll move to the right part of the UML, which is the canvas and the graph paper canvas. As you can see, this graph paper canvas is the class. So its canvas is we extend canvas. Same with the JFrame, we also extend the JFrame. So we have only 1 private in this graph paper canvas, which is the VM. The type is image, and then we have public. We have 4 publics, which is the graph paper canvas as the constructor, default constructor. We have set VM, we have paint, and update. All these attributes have been right in the class UML. Right. So for next, we have the relationship with chapters. So in this presentation, I would like to explain the relationship of our coding or our UML with all the chapters that have been taught in this course. So for the first, as you can see, this is our main UML class diagram. So we begin with the lecture 18, which is the class relationship. We have this composition graph paper has a graph paper canvas. So as you can see at the middle, we have the black, we have error in here. So this is to show that the graph paper is a composition with the graph paper canvas. So we get the information from the class relationship course chapters. Sorry. So this is the first chapter that we have the relationship. So next we have the lecture 20, which is the inheritance. As you can see, we have the two extend, which is the extend JFrame and extend canvas. So you can see at the UML also we have an arrow show that graph paper is extend JFrame and the graph paper canvas extend canvas. So as you can see at the right, which is the coding, we also write the extend JFrame and extend canvas. So this information we get from the inheritance lecture 20, and is the one of the chapters that have been taught in this course. So next we have the lecture 28 and 29, which is the exception handling. So we have the try and catch block using in this code. So we have using the try and catch block to make an exception if exception occurred. The system cannot output the image, or as you can see, this system will print exception occurred, no successful. So we have using the exception handling to code in our program. So this is one of the chapters that have been taught in our course. So next we have using the lecture 5, which is the assignment statement. We have using lots of operator because we want to make a equation. So we have using a plus, minus, equal, less than, equal than to create a equation to our programs. So you can see this is the our code in the coding. So we have using this assignment statement as the chapters in our course. The next we have also the last, which is the lecture 7, creating class and objects, is also one of the chapter that have been taught in our course. So this we have using the graph paper GP2 group 2 equal to new graph paper 300 2000 comma 10. So we have create an object. So this is one of the information that being taught or knowledge that being taught in this creating class and object. So we have use it, and this is the one of the relationship between the chapters. So next, so for the last the conclusion. So for me and Arif, the conclusion that we get from this course, that we have a lot of new knowledge. A lot of new knowledge we learn, because Java is although we have learned in the matriculation, but this is not as detailed as being taught in this course. So for me myself, I learned a new thing to code in the NetBeans IDE. So I think all the knowledge that being taught from our lecturer, Dr. Samirzi, is really helpful. And because Java programming language is one of the programming language that high demand in the market. So I think I learned a lot of new knowledge, and this mini project also helped me and Arif to gain more knowledge and better understanding in using all the chapters that been taught to ourselves. So I think that's all from me and Arif. So thank you.